And welcome back. This is episode number 3, and I've got some sad news. My good friend Mike, he's not gonna be here for this episode. So I asked his permission. He was cool with it. He said, man, go ahead. Let's keep the episodes pumping, dude. Keep rolling. So go ahead and do your thing. So with that said, I'm not alone. I am not alone, people. Got another good friend of ours over here. Goes by the name of, and I shit you not, Johnny Walker. Say what's up, brother.
Hey, what's going on, Dan? How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah,
on the show.
absolutely, dude. Yeah. So and the fact that he's the first guest that we've had on the show, it comes with great pleasure, because if you've been listening, the premise behind the popcorn stand. And this man right here, he saved our popcorn stand from being thrown in the garbage. Just let him tell your heroic story of just.
You can't have Mike and Dan's popcorn stand without the popcorn stand.
See, this guy gets it.
So, you're gonna throw it out, and well, let's just say I saved it.
Nice, good job, dude. That's all we wanted to do was bring joy to the people with the popcorn. And we almost couldn't even do that. We would have ruined our show right off the bat. 2 episodes in, and we don't even have a popcorn machine anymore. And Johnny,
It would have been a really sad day.
yeah, and you saved it. Not only did you save the machine and the people's enjoyment for popcorn, you saved this pod. We would have had to
The
change the name.
show.
You would have had to change the name. Mike and Dan's show thing with no popcorn. That's what we would have had to name the show. Mike and Dan's show thing with no popcorn.
that might sound a wee bit boring.
I'm right. Nobody listened to that. It sounds terrible. But yeah, he saved it. He kept the name and the machine alive. So, let me give the people a little bit about yourself.
Thanks for the shout out. So, like Dan said, I'm Johnny Walker. I'm
Mm-hmm.
33, from Colorado. I like warm well vodka,
Ooh, that's
and I like adventure
nice.
and Subarus. Definitely a big fan of Subarus and car camping.
He's the man when it comes to that kind of stuff.
But
he's
adventures.
all in. He's all in. And I mean, you went all in.
Oh, I definitely went all in.
I feel like did this kind of stem from the little trip down to the Oregon Caves, little camp, little situation we got? Because I feel like after that you went full blown. I'm about this life.
Yeah, seeing Nit's Delica and how he
Mhm.
outfitted it, and then just doing adventures in the car, driving up and down the West Coast.
Mhm.
My car build just
It
kind of
needed it.
Yeah.
It's not if this was going to happen. It was when
When.
it was going to happen, and it's happening.
Yeah, it definitely never thought I'd be merging the two ever.
Yeah, look at that. You're bringing 2 worlds together, dude.
I am meshing them, fusing them together.
That's a big deal, man. That's a big deal. So that's Johnny. He's a hero. He's all about them Subies. So you said a fan of Subarus.
Yes.
So here's my thing. The word fan, it's short for fanatic, right? Is that that's a thing, right?
Yeah, I
Fanatic,
guess. I mean,
fan, fanatic, right?
It's my sixth one, sixth Subaru.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I love them. I always keep coming back to them. Wagons. Love the wagons. Too.
This man's a wagon kind of guy, but it's not your go get the groceries.
Oh, no.
You're not, this man's out doing things and going places.
Yeah. Traveling the West Coast, car shows, adventures, car camping. Dan's been with me quite a few times now.
Or maybe not with you. We drove for days on end, and the man.
Forgot you were with me.
I don't know how that's like possible. So let me tell you what happened. So we find this campsite. Oh, that's a story in itself. Finding this campsite. So we've been driving all day. Awesome day, cruising through the redwoods. You know, beautiful, beautiful area. You know, you can't get enough of those things.
Took some scenic pictures.
Yep. You
Held
had
up
you had to tell me which way to
Oh,
turn
yeah.
the car. You said
Yep.
turn left, and you physically showed me how to turn left. You could have just pointed, hey, put the car right there. And no, yeah.
We also held up traffic that time too.
We did, just so Johnny could get a picture of his car. And those of you who know Johnny know what I'm talking about. But yeah, let's get to this campsite. You know, so we'd been traveling all over the redwoods. You know, Northern California, and there's this amazing campsite that Johnny knows about.
Amazing. Been there before.
It was. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It was awesome. It was a great campsite.
Right in the redwoods.
And I'm not even gonna exaggerate. There was 147 campsites at this spot,
Yeah.
and about 4 of them were occupied.
5 or 6.
Oh, okay. Still in the single digits. So we get to this place, and I mean, I'm ready to just set up my tent. It is pitch black out there.
About
and-
10:30,
and-
10:30 or 11, I think it was.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And so we're cruising. You know, we're cruising. You know, it's pretty standard. You know, hey, let's go find a spot. You pull your little tag and ride it, and you go. You know, go drop it off in the little box up front.
Don't forget, we were trying to set up camp before sunset too.
The
That's
sunset
just-
was
that
way
just-
like
Epic fail.
big time. So we're driving around, and 5 minutes turns to 10, turns to 20, turns to 30, and I'm like, dude, Johnny, dude, what do you know about this park that I don't, man? Like,
I was looking for the perfect campsite.
Oh.
The perfect campsite next to this little creek. And then it ended up being taken.
that person knew the sixth, you know, they were scattered, so that sixth person in that far corner, that was the one spot you wanted.
Yes. Out of all
And-
the other spots.
And so we're driving fine. I'm like, dude, you know what? We're right here. We're stopping. What number's that? 133. That's it. I'm writing it down. I'm putting my money in the thing. You're taking me to the front to go drop this thing in this box. And okay, we drop it off. Boom. We come back after this argument, whatever that we just had. So we're pulling up into the campsite. It's a little inclined to get to it, and
There's a ledge on the other
this
side.
is
too.
a pretty big drop off on what most Americans would call the driver's side. That's another thing.
Oh,
You
yeah.
didn't even tell them about your car.
Okay, so my car, I converted it to right-hand drive, so you drive on the right-hand side for all intents and purposes. And yeah, Dan was sitting in the in the passenger side. So he yeah, it's quite modified, you know. And it's back up. I've wanted a right-hand drive car for like 10 years, and that's why I converted. So
And he
people
did
always
it.
say- and I did it.
The man did it. So I'm in the passenger, aka driver side of the car, which is the side of the ledge. So we're driving into the spot, and I look out the window and go, "Oh, dude, you got plenty of room on this side." And he goes, "Oh!" It's like, "Oh man, I forgot you were here." I was like, "What?
Yeah,
What?"
definitely
Like,
forgot he was been
I
sitting
don't-
next to me the entire trip.
I was like, "Dude, I've been sitting next to you for 2 days." 2 days.
Oh. Yeah, it was yeah, definitely it was a good laugh.
Yeah, for him, I felt like a ghost or something. I was like, where have I been? I thought you know we were a team here. So that's that. I don't even know how the hell we got that far off. We weren't
It,
even.
it was a long day, a lot of driving.
Yes. So we're gonna definitely get back to the car camping situations that we've experienced in our back and forth from Washington to California. But what I'd like to do right now is introduce a game that I would like to hopefully get going on the show. But the topic that I want to go off of, I can't really think of anything else to go. But I know you, the listeners, you could leave a little comment down there and give me a suggestion on what I could do so we could keep this game going. So the game is gonna be called Is It Funny or Is It Offensive? So that's what the game is gonna be, and I'm gonna give you some of the rules. So I'm just gonna come up with a topic, but I'm gonna give so before you make your decision, Johnny, you're gonna have to hear me out. I'm gonna give you two stories, scenarios, if you may,
Okay.
and maybe even a personal experience.
Oh boy.
So, so I think this can get pretty fun, and we're gonna keep it. It's gonna be civil, but I think it's gonna be pretty funny. I don't want like ridiculous comments of like actually offensive. So
I'm gonna be the worst person for this game, but
so once we listen, then once we get this going, you'll get the gist of how we're gonna play this game. So here we go. The
Question
first
one.
time. Is it funny or is it offensive? Farting in public. So don't answer just yet. Okay? So now I'm gonna give you some images that you're gonna have to paint in your picture. Paint this picture in your head. So
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a first one that I think is
Oh
it's
boy.
gonna be hard to determine, is that funny or is that offensive? So farting in public. So the classic crop dusting. I mean, they can be pretty hilarious, but they can also be super offensive. They
They
get your
can.
blood boiling, boy. Oh, don't even get me started. But you know what? I already am. So, for those of you out there who don't even know what a crop dust of a human version is, so the actual thing is, a little airplane that loads itself up with a bunch of pesticides and flies really low over a crop of fruit or vegetables, and then it flies really low,
Yeah.
opens up the pesticides, and
Keeps
boom,
going.
keeps going, and it leaves a nice dusting, and the plane is long gone.
Yeah.
So now get into how this comes into human form. The person is the plane, and your little toot is the pesticide. So, with that said, now, boom, you know what a crop dust is. Actual term and human term. So here's my here's my personal experience. This just happened to me the other day
Ooh.
here at work
Yeah.
in the hallway. I'm gonna use actual terms. So I was walking down the hallway, I was walking down the hallway and turned the corner and boom, it hits me. I walk right into a wall of stench. I mean, that thing, it smacked me. It smacked me across my face. And I went through an emotional roller coaster
Emotional.
in a
Ooh.
matter of 5 seconds, dude. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. All right, so check it out. I'm gonna try to make this as visual as possible for you. All right, I turn the corner. Boom! I'm hit. Ugh. Like I said, this is 5 seconds of emotional roller coaster. Second number one, I'm like, ugh. Blood boil. Boom. 0 to 60 like that. I'm not happy. And then second 2 and 3, I actually say out loud like, come on, man. You know? So that's second 2 and 3. And, you know, I take another step. I'm already in it, dude. You know, I gotta go that way.
Yeah.
I'm in it, dude. I gotta keep trucking. Granted, keep in mind, again, this is only 3 seconds that have passed.
No
And
turning back now.
no. So the 4th second, now I'm just kind of like, you know,
Really?
I think about it. I'm like, and I do kind of just give a little, and then the 5th second, I laugh. I laugh. You know, I'm like, "Ah, this person, they got me."
They got you good.
Was that a malicious crop dust, or was it a, you know, they were kind of standing there doing something. They were reading the paper or something. I don't know. And they did it, and they were like, "Oh wow, I didn't expect that. I got to get out of here." And they fled the scene of the crime. You know, that's a felony, man.
Yeah.
Fleeing, you know, you flee the scene of a crime. That's a felony, dude.
Yeah.
And they did that. You know. Oh, that's the thing. That's why. And again, you don't answer yet if it's funny or offensive. I can give you mine because that's my little story. I think it's funny because this person, they got me, man. Whether it was intentional or a little a mishap.
You just happen to be the next victim.
I should have. You know what? I guess I should have stood guard. I should have took one for the whole team. I should have stood guard and been like, "Hey, don't go this way." I should have said, "Don't go that way." But I thought it was funny, so I kept cruising.
Yeah.
Let somebody else experience what I just did, and we'll let them decide. Was that funny or was that offensive? See, this can be a game that you play all the time. You can, you know. So again, don't answer. I got another one. I got another. So that was my personal experience.
Okay.
That was my thing. You know, I walked into this wall of someone. So now we're gonna get deep. This next story, it's gonna get you in the feels, man.
Hit me.
So, all right, I thought about this one. I really did. So check it out. All right, man. Here you go. Little Jimmy here. You know, and he has a sister, Julie. Jimmy and Julie. They're just, you know, they're little kids growing up in Winchesterton, Fieldville. I forget the name. I forget the state. They grew up in Winchesterton, Fieldville, and you know, they don't got much money. You know, the mom and dad, they're hard workers, but they do something for the kids every summer. You know, they go somewhere.
Blue collar family.
Yeah, they're some downright just hard workers, you know, and they like to do stuff. They like to do stuff for the kids.
Yeah.
So they finally old Pop, what are we gonna call this fellow? Mick Johnsonston.
Mick Johnston. All right.
Family McJohnsonston. They decide. Or, you know, Mr. Mick Johnsonston decides, you know what? I'm calling a family meeting. Boom. Family meeting. It's happening. Pop says to the family, you know what, family? How about this summer we go to the Big Apple, New York City? Their faces light up, man. They light up. They're like, oh, wow. I mean, how are we gonna deal with it? It's a big city. They're excited. They're scared at the same time. They don't know what to expect. It's the Big Apple, man. So boom, they do it, man. They hop on that flight. They go. They're going. They get there, you know. One of the first things they see is Times Square. Like, well, they're taken away.
Overwhelmed.
Yeah. I mean, I'm from a big city, and the first time I saw Times Square, whoo boy, you better believe I was you know, I felt like a nothing. You been there?
Never been.
Never? Oh man,
Never been.
you better get up there, man.
Yeah, eventually we'll get there.
You know, family McJohnsonston, they took that place on. So they get there, you know, first couple hours they're kind of scared, man. You know, they're figuring it out, but but they're gonna tough it up. They're gonna get through this. They're gonna take a bite out of the Big Apple.
Ooh.
So they do it. This is a week-long trip. I forgot to mention that.
Oh.
It's a week-long. So they do it. Day 1, they're filling it out. Day 2, they're hailing cabs and stuff.
Doing some sightseeing.
Yeah, man, they're going all out. By day 5, they're like, pushing people out of the way in the subway. Like, hey, get out of here, tourists. So fine. I mean, they've seen it all. They've seen Lady Liberty. They've seen Central Park. They rode the ferry. And then finally, little old Jimmy looks up and he's like, Dad, we didn't even go to the top of the Empire State Building. That's a pretty big staple, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
you have to.
Yeah, you got to do it. I know it's on your list. You haven't gone, but you're gonna.
Oh, I will go.
You see, and he's gonna go to the top, but be cautious. Because this story I'm about to kind of make up may traumatize you. So, it's the last day. It's the last day of the trip. So Pop says, you know what, family, we're doing it. We're going to the top. So, they do it. And it's crazy. It's not even a big line. There's always a line. Yeah. There's always a line, You don't even have to have ever been there. And right now, there's a line.
Oh, yeah.
There's a line for sure. And there's not even a line. They get their tickets. They pile 50 people into this elevator.
I know where you're going with it.
Yeah, dude. You see what's happening now. So, this 50 people in there. They pile into this elevator. Everyone's so excited. And then, the second before those doors shut, it's like, oh no. Everyone in there's like, oh no. Is this really happening to me?
At one point or another, someone has experienced that.
There's definitely a person who works the button. I want to ask them how many of these situations they've dealt with. But anyway, let's get back to the story. We can recap after. So, it happened. This person, they let loose. They let loose in this thing, man. How big is that thing? Like 105 plus story? We're just gonna say over 100.
Probably a minute or two ride on that.
I wouldn't even want to be trapped in a 3-story elevator ride with a tutor.
It's enclosed space too.
Oh, they pile you in there, man. You're like sardines in that thing. So it happened. And the look on everybody's blaming everyone. Everyone's like, I know that was you. Jimmy's looking at Julie. Julie's looking at Jimmy. Mom's looking at Pop. Pop's looking at Mom. And then they're just looking at everybody else. Nobody wants to own up. That one person knows what they did. Again, did it just slip? Or was it malicious? Was this person out for blood? Was that the sole purpose to ride to the top of this was to just he was out drinking IPAs all night, eating slices of pizza and hot dogs up and down the street, just letting it brew for this moment. So they're trapped. They're experiencing it. They're living in this in this just, you can almost smell it, can't you? Yeah, I see.
Sure can.
Johnny's experiencing it right now. So Jimmy and Julie are looking up at Pop like, why is this happening to us? We didn't do anything, did we? And they're just like, they're barely at like 50th floor. Everyone's just, they can't even stand still anymore. It's like elbows are kind of like,
tensions are high.
Like everybody's just kind of like, I hate you. I hate every one of you in this fart box with me. So they're getting there, man. They see they're getting to the top. They're almost there, almost to the observation deck. And the door like just slightly. It's like that. As soon as that door opens, it's like Black Friday. Hey, we're gonna call this situation Dark Black Friday because it's evil. People are just knocking over, you know, and Jimmy and
People
Julie.
climbing over others.
Yeah,
over each other.
it's disgusting, but they're trying to get out of the
fart box.
yes, they're trying to get out of that fart box. And I mean, everyone got out safely. Minor cuts and bruises. They make it out. Oh, they can't get out to the observation deck fast enough to breathe in some of that good old New York
fresh air.
Yeah. So they're out there, man. They're like, they're gathering themselves. They're collecting them. So they're getting back to their innocence because it was taken away from them in that
momentarily. That 1 or 2 minute elevator ride.
Yeah, for them it was probably 15 minutes.
Oh,
For
yeah,
all they know, time stood still. So they're out there, all 49 of those people, because the number 50, that person don't care.
Yeah.
They're like, ha, we got him. And they're out there, they're collecting themselves. They're starting to enjoy their day again. Pop's lifting up Johnny to look through. I'm sorry, Jimmy. You're Johnny.
Yeah.
I should have used not J names.
Yeah.
So Jimmy's looking through the binoculars. It's like, oh, Dad, I can see Central Park. Look, that's where we were. So they're getting back to the happy times again. They make a lap and then another lap around. And those of you who've been up there, it doesn't take much. You do 2 laps and you're kind of like, okay, it's time to get out.
I'm ready to be done.
So around lap 8 or 9, Jimmy and Julia, they're kind of like, oh, I'm getting hungry, Dad. They're like, I know. So they head back inside. And it's crazy. They go back in, the exact same 49 people are in the waiting area. They were too traumatized by the moment, like, to roll the dice and hop back on another possible fart box. They're all looking at each other again like, oh, it was you. And then the same just hatred is building again, but by this point it's the last elevator of the day.
Oh.
Some of them they were debating taking the stairs. That's how much they did not want to get trapped in this situation again. So they do it. The workers, they're like, all right, folks, it's time to go. So they do it. They pile in, and it's a tense situation, man. You can hear a pin drop in there. It's, the doors close, man, and they're all looking at each other like, I know it was you. They're going though.
Yeah.
Nothing. All right, I'll get to that. All right, they're going. They're about 30 seconds in, and so far so good. So far so good. A little bit more time passes. They're getting lower and lower, and it's good. It's good. I was like, oh.
Tensions are easing.
Yeah, they're becoming all friends again. People starting to apologize for those elbows to the face earlier. They're at the 10th floor now, and it's like 9. 8. People are starting to look at each other like, oh, they're giving each other.
We're in the clear.
Yeah, you see, like, like, oh man, is this happening? Are we gonna get through this? The 2nd floor. There's, actual cheering and applause. People are hugging. They're so happy, and then the doors open, and the workers are like, "What? I've never seen such a sight. Like, everybody, like, they were in such a happy mood. I've never seen this." So whatever, everybody, after they're done hugging and shaking hands, they go about their ways.
Yeah.
They go about their ways. They made it. Meanwhile, the guest number 50, he's in Central Park eating a hot dog, drinking another IPA, getting ready for wondering who else.
Round 2.
Yeah, wondering what other building he's gonna go ruined. So they do it. They get through that ordeal. They return home. They don't speak of it ever again. That day they took a whole bunch of pictures and they did it all. They enjoyed it. So they go home. It's a great trip. They're letting it. They're forgetting everything. So now we're now 10 years later. It's 10 years later. Old 9-year-old Jimmy isn't 9 anymore. He's
19.
back from college.
Oof.
Home for the holidays. Him and Julie, they're home from college. They're twins, by the way. I forgot to mention that. So they went to that's why they're both home from school at the same time.
Yeah.
They're in the same grade. They're twins. So they're home for the holidays, and the family decided that the McJohnston's family was gonna host. They're gonna host the big Christmas gathering. So they're there, and everything's going great. They're and over the fireplace, they got a picture, a huge picture blown up from that day, on top of the Empire State Building, and old Uncle Ted, looks over at the family. He's like, you know what, man, that is an excellent. That is a beautiful photo of you guys up there on top of the Empire State Building. Mom, Pop, Julie, and Jimmy just look at each other.
Flashback.
Exactly. So this is what I wanted to get at. That fart was traumatized. Those 49 people, anytime they ever think of the Empire State Building,
That's the first thing
they're
they
gonna
think
think of that elevator ride. So this person not only ruined that elevator ride,
Scarred them for what?
you see? So that, my friend, is how it can get offensive, because all those 49 people, they're from all over the world. They just wanted to go to New York City,
Go on top of the Empire State Building and sightsee.
and the only memory the memory that they remember the absolute most of that day
First memory.
is gonna be of that fart in that elevator. So I now you see why I had to paint this whole picture for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I that was like an episode of something.
Great story.
So, with my own personal story, family McJohnston's story, and all other families and tourists that were there that fateful day were scarred for life because of one innocent little
Toot.
toot. So, let that marinate, dude. So I want you to think about that. Are they funny?
Or offensive.
I still think they're funny.
Oh, I'm still laughing.
So, so what do you think? What is your final
Final answer?
verdict?
Funny.
Nice. And there you have it. That we've played for the first time. Is it funny, or is it offensive? Public farting edition. Yeah. So that was intense. That took us into 33 minutes of this. Oof. Yeah. So.
But you painted an excellent picture.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want you to like jump the gun and just instantly be like, they're offensive. I hate them. I only go to the restroom when I do them, and I make sure no one's around, and they also can't hear them. So you can see that's some pretty funny ass stuff.
Yeah.
Literally, that's some funny ass stuff.
See what you did there. Well played.
Yeah, man. So there it is. I think they're funny. Johnny thinks they're funny.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, this guy's a natural, man. He's ready. He's getting the listeners involved. He wants your comments.
Yeah.
How about this? Even I'd like a personal story as to why they're funny or why they are offensive.
Even better.
Oh, yeah. So let's get on some lighter notes here. So, me
Oh
and
boy.
Johnny here, we kind of so we gave you a quick snippet into the camping thing. We road tripped a few times together.
Up and down the West Coast, Seattle to lovely Vallejo, California.
Beautiful, beautiful area.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the trip itself.
Yeah.
Not our final destinations or where we left from. But yeah, you know, the tent. We kind of jumped the gun on the tent site situation.
Yes, we did.
And how I somehow wasn't there. I wasn't sitting next to him for 2 days straight.
Just forgot.
Understandable. I'm a very forgettable
But,
person.
except you've been with me the entire trip, multiple trips.
Yeah. So what was the first one? What?
Where did we go?
We went north, right? That was when it was super smoky from those fires, right?
Yes.
Was that the first one? We went to Lassen.
Ooh, I remember we stayed at the Water Wheel RV park.
Oh, was that a plug? Was that a shout out?
Hold that, what?
You looking for some sponsors over here?
No, get out of here.
All right, you know what, John? I'll give you 10 seconds. Give
No.
some quick shout outs. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, dude's modest. I like that about him.
Let's see, I think our first time was up.
Those
Or
are
did you? Because you
super-
didn't drive. You didn't drive down with me, right? The first
Mm,
time.
The first time, no.
Yeah. So it was going back
We
up.
went back up.
Stopped at Lassen.
Took some nighttime
Stopped
shots.
at the. Oh, what city is that? Where it was super smoky. Stopped at the Walmart. Right before we got to the campsite, the Water Wheel campsite.
Was that one of those weird Walmarts where we needed to get the hell out of Dodge and it was kind of weird in there?
Yes. Really smoky. We got ice.
Yeah. That was another one of your classic people at Walmart situations.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Yeah, so that was that one. Oh, it was Lassen too, where we went on that hike and you decided to hike several miles in rubber flip-flops. That was that day, wasn't it?
Yeah, that one's.
I
Oh,
could-
yeah, that's
I
right.
could not stop laughing at how just absolutely filthy your feet were.
But that's why I have a road shower.
That's
It
why his
actually-
car's decked out with the means of being able to shower on the side of the road.
Yeah.
In case you're completely covered in mud and whatnot.
The Lassen's also the place where we got some cool Milky Way shots. And I may or may
Mm.
not have grabbed one of your shots for myself.
I'll allow it.
Dan gave me some great tips.
Hey, but we're out there. We're experiencing, we're
Nature.
we're amateur photographers, if you may. We enjoy. We dabble in the art of photography.
We do.
Speaking of which, don't forget to look up Danny_highroller_photography. Oh, quick plug. Oh,
Nice
whatever.
plug.
Johnny himself has some pretty great photos.
Ah,
Maybe
yeah.
the people like to know, where can they see these?
Well, it depends which one you want to see. Do you want to see the card or do you want to see
Oh,
personal?
you talked a little bit about the car. Maybe they want to see both.
So
Give the people give people a little insight to who is
Well,
Johnny.
Well, I guess my personal one would be Johnny Walk 3R for personal pictures like travel, or Johnny's Legacy, JONNYS, no H in there,
No age, people.
and then Legacy as well, Legacy, and that's all about my car.
Oh, and this is also on the gram. It's on the gram, people. So take a look.
Ooh yeah.
Speaking of the gram, Mike and Dan's, we're
Starting
we're cooking up something.
Oh,
We got
oh
something
boy.
in the works.
I'm excited to see.
So stay tuned for that. That's coming up once, especially once Mike gets back in. We need to get our stuff together. But yeah, we're coming up on. I'm pretty surprised. We're coming up on minute 40. I think we did pretty good.
Not too shabby. Episode 3 going strong.
Yeah, man. We got the savior the heroic savior of the popcorn stand, the physical form of our popcorn stand, and
The show.
Yeah. So, yeah, we got I wanna thank Johnny Walker for coming on out, and if Mike was here, he'd probably give you a big old hug.
He probably
And
would.
thank you himself. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. We're gonna be, well, I would say we're gonna be uploading this soon, but when you listen to it, it's already uploaded, so that makes no sense.
Yeah, that's a very valid point.
Yeah, so
Well, Dan-
enjoy.
Dan,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you for the opportunity. It's been fun.
Hey, man,
Laughed, had a good laugh, good chuckle.
That's why I wanted you around, man. I knew you would enjoy my stories. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, and I hope you all enjoy. Mike will be back for the next episode, and we're just gonna give you some more shenanigans, and hopefully we got some comments on what you would like to hear us ask the next person on whether they think it's funny or offensive. And thank you. Stay tuned. Peace out.